There is so much progress that you can do if you buckle down and you have a good plan. There is so much you can do in a short amount of time if you believe that it's possible. If you believe it's possible and you have a plan that you're taking action on, amazing things can happen. Welcome to the Mind Over Mental Block podcast. I'm your mental performance coach, Mandy Patterson. I know the weight of mental blocks because I battled them myself as a competitive athlete. From back handsprings I thought I'd never get, to fulls I needed to stay on scholarship, I know how frustrating it is to feel stuck. And as a mom of 3 and former coach, I also know how heartbreaking it is to watch it happen. This podcast is for cheerleaders and gymnasts ready to face their fears and believe in themselves again. For parents who want a trusted voice to guide their child so they can simply cheer them on. And for coaches who strive to leave an impact that goes far beyond the mat. Whether you're listening together to or from practice or a big meet, or on your own in those moments when you're just not quite sure what to say or do, this podcast is for you. It's the pep talk you want, the tough love you need, and the encouragement you've been waiting for. So hit subscribe and let's go. Hello, awesome athlete and supportive parents and coaches. I am really excited about today's episode. So this is the first episode that's going to air at the beginning of summer. So I live in Georgia. And so our kids are out. We are on summer break officially. I know around the country that kind of varies. So if you're still in school, don't worry. Summer is coming, okay? Hopefully the sun is out today and shining bright and you have some exciting things to do later. But for today, this is the first episode that is releasing in the summer season, which is the season that I am currently in. If you don't know this about me, I have 3 little kiddos. So I have a 1-year-old, almost 2-year-old in August. I have a 5-year-old. So my 1-year-old's a little girl. Her name is Lex. And then I have Maddox. She's my little princess. And she turned 5 in April. So she's 5. And then my son is 8. So we've got the coolest, funnest ages to do all the fun summer things, hanging out at the pool. We have a beach trip planned. Actually, when this podcast airs, I will be at the beach. So I'm very excited about that. And just some fun things. I love summer. It's so fun. I love Christmas. So Christmas is like my all-time favorite season. But right now in this moment, I'm really pretty pumped about all of our fun summer plans. So hopefully you're getting excited about your summer plans. So today's episode, I am planning for this to be a short episode, very actionable, just to help you craft a plan. But I also want to build in, I'm a mindset coach. I want to build in just this little nugget, this thing for you to consider and think about when it comes to getting new skills. All right. So today's episode is all about getting new skills. So before I jump into this strategy for what you can do this summer to get a new skill by comp season. So if you want a new skill by comp season, this is what you're going to do today. But before we do that, I want to give you a little nugget. I want to give you something to consider. What if it's possible that you can throw that skill by your first competition? What if it's possible? I feel like so often in the cheer and gymnastics world, especially when there's mental blocks or there's been some struggle or challenge in getting a certain skill, I feel like it's easy to get into this, well, not easy, but it's very common to get in this place where it's like, I don't even know if this skill is possible for me. I don't know if I'm in a place where I can overcome this skill. I don't know if I'm built to throw this specific skill. Sometimes we can get in this place where we kind of get disappointed. We get a little defeated and we just forget, or we just feel like we're not going to do this. This skill is not going to happen. And one thing that I love about a new season is there's a lot of new energy. There's possibility. There's opportunity. There's a lot of good, new, fresh energy that's available. And without getting way woo-woo, but you feel it, right? Like when school's out and there's summer ahead, it's exciting. It's different. You get to change things up. You get to get out of those routines that have certain outcomes. Like, okay, I go to practice, work on the skill. It doesn't happen. Go to practice, work on the skill, get a little better, get excited, next practice, go back again, right? Like we get used to these patterns. And there's so much you can do to pull yourself out of that, but it is a lot easier to shift the experiences you're having at practice when there's a new season and there's new, fresh energy. So if you want a new skill by comp season, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to consider that it's possible. I want you to ask yourself, what if it's possible that I could have my full by comp season? What if it's possible that I could throw my layout by myself in my first routine of the season? Get excited about the possibility. Okay. Get excited and start leaning into this idea that you can do it. You can absolutely have it. It's totally possible for you. I did this last summer for me. Again, I have a little baby. And so I got really excited about my health last summer. I was like, okay, and again, I heard a podcast episode and it pumped me up because she literally said, she's like, you could be a different person in 3 months. There is so much progress that you can do if you buckle down and you have a good plan. There is so much you can do in a short amount of time if you believe that it's possible. If you believe it's possible and you have a plan that you're taking action on, amazing things can happen. So that's what we're going to do today. So that's the first thing I want you to think about is what if it's possible? What if you can do it? Okay. And I want you to get excited about that. So now that you've gotten excited, let's come up with a plan because this is summer, which means you've got more freedom and flexibility with your schedule. So if you are excited about getting a skill, that means that it is important and it is on you to set aside time to work towards that skill. Okay. And you can do it in a way that's super fun. You can have flexibility in your approach in different things. So here's the first thing. I want you to get crystal clear on what the goal is. What is that skill that you want? Okay. Where do you want to get it? Do you want to have it on the dead mat? Do you want it on the spring floor? Do you want it on the tumble track? Do you want it on beam or bars or vault? Or do you want it assisted? Do you want it spotted? Or do you want to do it by yourself? How many times do you want to throw it? Right. So I want you to get crystal clear on what is the goal. And the way that you know that it is super crystal clear is okay, if I write this down on a sheet of paper, will there be a point where I know for a fact that I get to check the box saying, okay, yes, I did this, I achieved this goal? Okay. So that's the first thing is what is your goal? Next thing, I want you to think about where are you today? Okay, there's no judgment, there's no pressure. Okay, if you start to feel that pang or that, you're start feeling nervous or you start feeling like you're judging yourself for not already having the skill, I want you to just, for today's purposes, push it aside. Remember that where you are today is absolutely fine. This is your journey, anyways. If anybody is forcing you to have a skill, then that's a problem. Okay, so today I want you to just think about, just give yourself permission to, and remind yourself that wherever you are today with this skill, it is fine. If you used to have it, who cares? You're a different person today than you were a year ago. Okay. So, of course, there's no reason to expect that you should already have the skill. Plus, this is your journey. Okay. You deserve to work on skills on your own timeline. So, wherever you find yourself today with that skill, it's okay. You're fine. You're safe. Everything is great. Okay. And you've got a lot of opportunity ahead of you. And I want you to get excited about that. Remember, what if it's possible? What if it's possible that this summer can be totally different than any summer you've ever had before in such a good way? All right, you know what skill you want to work on this summer. You know the goal. Okay. You have decided, okay, here's where I am today. And it's important to know where you are today, realistically, honestly, so that you know how to get where you're going. If you don't know where you're at today, it's really hard to make a plan to work towards that goal you're excited about. All right. So the next thing that I want you to think about, so we've got where you are today and we know where you're headed. What will get you there? How do you close that gap between where you are today and where you want to be at the end of summer or by your first competition, whatever that date is? The first thing that really gets in the way of athletes and making progress is that every single day they go in the gym, they're judging where they are that day compared to the end goal. Okay. So it's really common for athletes to go into practice. They're excited. They're pumped up. They're like, okay, today I'm going to work on my full. Today I'm going to work on my tuck, whatever that skill is for you. Today I'm going to work on my flyaway. And you go into the gym and you don't do it by yourself right away because you're still working on it. And then you feel defeated. You're like, oh, I have too far to go. It's not worth it. It's not working. I'm never going to get there. And you have a lot of self doubt that sets in. Self doubt is the opposite of confidence, and confidence is a skill that you can build strategically. So if you feel like that's where you are, I feel like this step is crucial for you. So when you decide, okay, what is it going to take to get me there? What you're doing is you're taking that big goal where you want to be by the end of summer or your first comp, and you are breaking it into something that's not so overwhelming for your brain. You're breaking it into a piece that you can actually feel like it's possible for you to achieve and for you to work towards. Okay. So maybe today you are throwing your round off back handspring by yourself. Okay. You've got your round off back handspring and you used to have a tuck, and that's okay. But you're working towards getting your tuck by yourself again. And that's amazing. Okay. So your goal is that I want my round off back handspring tuck on the spring mat by myself. And I want to be able to throw it 3 times by my first competition or by the end of summer, whatever that looks like. All right, and today you're doing a round off back handspring. So what are the steps that would get you from round off back handspring to your round off handspring tuck by the end of summer? It's like, okay, well, my first step is I can master it on the rod floor, or maybe you do it from the rod floor into the pit. Maybe that your gym has that opportunity available to you, and that's what you want to do. So that's step one. Round off handspring tuck by myself into the pit, goal number one. Goal number 2 would be doing it with a spot on the spring floor. And then the big goal at the end of summer is doing it by yourself. Okay. So that's the stair step, that's the progression. So then after you've mapped that out and you've broken that skill down, your goal isn't to do a round up back handspring tuck by yourself perfectly today. Your goal is to do a round off handspring tuck into the pit by the end of the month. That is totally doable. You can do that. You know how to do that. So once you know what it will take you to get you there, once you have broken it down and you know your first goal, now I want you to establish a practice plan. For me to get my first milestone, so in this example that I used, it's a round off handspring tuck into the pit off of the rod floor. So that's the goal as of right now. Okay. We're going to put all the big scary goals, we're going to put those to the side just because you have a plan. When you have a plan, you get to throw away that self doubt that says, I'm never going to get there. Because you're like, no, of course I'm going to get there because I'm doing work. I'm showing up every day. I have a good practice plan. And I know how everything I'm doing today is going to get me to that big goal. Once you do that, you can let go of that doubt or that fear that you're not going to be ready. So, again, what if it's possible? What if it's possible that you can do this skill by yourself? I think it is. So, hopefully, you're getting excited about that too. So, what is that practice plan? What is that thing or what are those actions that you get to take? And you get to prove to yourself that you're someone that takes action. In my private athlete community, we have something we call block breaker action takers. And just a way for us to celebrate the activities or the actions that our athletes take every single day. Because I think sometimes you're doing things that are really amazing, but you're not noticing them because you don't understand how that piece is going to get you to something bigger that you're excited about. It's almost like the focus is so much on the big thing that it overshadows all the little things that actually matter to get you there. And that's how you build confidence. So today we're gonna come up with a practice plan. So how many days a week are you going to work on your skill? All right. Are you going to work on it at practice? Are you going to set up private lessons? Are you going to do mindset work? Are you going to do visualization and mental rehearsal at home? There's a lot of different ways to get you there. There's a lot of ideas. Okay. So set aside time and just decide, okay, here's my practice plan. On Mondays, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to do this. On Tuesdays, so just break it out and decide, okay, what are the reps? What are the drills that I can do to help me get there? When you are working on a new skill, there are 4 key areas of training that are required. The first thing is strength. Okay. So if you are already strong enough to do the skill and you know that, then you get to work in the other areas. But if you are lacking strength, if the reason why you're struggling to do your round off back handspring is because you're having a hard time getting enough power out of your round off to be in a good position to start your back handspring, need to work on a little strength. Okay. So you can do some strength training exercises. That's an amazing thing that you can do. So that's the first thing. That's strength. The next thing is the technique. Does your body know what to do? Do you know what body positions to get in for a skill? If this is a new skill that you've never done before, then maybe it would help you to have some drills. You can get with your in the gym coach. You can reach out to me and my team and we can set up a session for you to kind of talk through what this practice plan could look like. But there are a ton of drills and reps you can do, different things in the gym to teach your body the technique of the skill. All right. So you need strength, technique. The other thing is mental game. Okay. Mindset work. That's where me and my team come in. Confidence, having confidence to do it, having the trust to be able to trust yourself to do it, and not to over control the skill. Knowing what to think about in the skill that's going to be really helpful. Okay. Again, following this podcast, there's going to be some great ideas for you. If you're dealing with a mental block, you can check out our mental block hub. We've got a lot of resources for you there. So that would be mgpcoach.com/mental block help. We've got that linked as well in the show notes if that's something you're interested in. And of course, you can always set up a session with someone on my team. The link to do that is inside of that mental block hub link that I just shared with you as well. And then the other piece is just strategy. So getting enough practice in to teach your body, oh, this is how I do this skill. This is what it feels like. Okay. That's where that muscle memory and getting the reps in the gym can be really helpful. Okay. So those are the pieces that you want to think about and build into your practice plan. But the most important thing is that you have a plan. You have a way to track your progress and to see, oh, this is how all of the actions I'm taking every single day, how they're going to get me to that big goal. And then you just get to go in the gym and have fun and enjoy the process. So I hope this was helpful. Just an opportunity for you to get excited about what next season can look like, to hopefully give you a little bit more new energy, fresh energy, excitement towards working on a new skill this summer, or even, regaining a skill that you previously had mastered, and you're excited to learn some new techniques this summer to really make a lot of progress in that area. So I hope this was helpful, and I am excited to see you in the next episode. Your time is precious, so thanks so much for spending some of it with me today. I'm so excited to hear what mindset shifts, tips, and encouragement stood out most. Be sure to leave a comment and let me know. If you love this episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss another. If you're ready for more support, check out my new Mental Block Hub, support for cheerleaders and gymnasts. The link is in the show notes. There is also information in that link on how to book a free intro coaching session with my team. There is also a link to join the MVP list, so you'll always be first to know about new content, resources, and special offers. I'd love to stay connected. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Mandy Patterson Coaching for more inspiration and encouragement throughout the week. Remember, you are amazing, infinitely capable, and stronger than you think. I believe in you, and I'll see you next time.